What's going on, everybody? James here. Guess just a little vlog style today. Saturday, and just been busy straightening things up, organizing, listing, just working the normal work stuff. Got some new shelving set up and what have you, but I'm excited to get, like I talked about, just getting started with new things and just doing things different and what have you. And I've been back to playing with the stock market, so I'm kind of enjoying that again. I used to years ago when like Apple and Facebook originally came out and all that. So I remember making good money back then off of it. So about a month ago, I started getting back, not quite a month, I guess, started getting back into it, buying a little here and there and what have you. And I put in my request for some SpaceX stock. I mean, how can you? It's hard to go against the richest person in the world, known richest person in the world. I'm sure there's some Saudi people who are richer, but I don't think they record their worth or whatever. But so known richest person in the world, and one of the, if not the smartest of our time. So no matter what you think about him, you can't deny who he is. But so it should be a win. I'll look at it in, say, 5 years. We'll do a 5 to 7, and then we'll do a 7 to 10. See where it's at. So kind of use it as to build up for my wife's retirement. So if she goes 5 more years, then this could be a little, if it keeps going up, which I believe it probably will, might be the next, $1,000 stock and what have you. So hopefully we get some, because it's supposed to be, high demand. So, and I think only a handful of places: Robinhood, Schwab, Fidelity, and I think E-Trade, maybe. I'm not sure, but going through Schwab, I am, so, to get it. So enjoying that, winding down for the night. So, and then also I found this, which is cool. This is going to be my first item to send off to like PSA to get it authenticated and what have you. And that's this Cardinals cap, and it's got Albert Pujols' signature on it, but it also appears to be a game-worn hat. So it's his size at the time of this hat when the Cardinals was wearing it, and the 5 matches what he used to write on the bill of his hats. And at that time, he would put, what would Jesus do? I think it was on his shoes also, like it printed into his shoe, his Nike deal or something. It was like printed on his shoes or something. But so some of the things he would put that on his hat. So game worn hat. Only cost me like $0.25. There's one now that is authenticated that's up at an asking price of $2,500. So might as well get it authenticated and hope that it is what it looks to be. So that'll be fun. My first item. So I'm reading more about that now, so I don't mess it up or do anything wrong or what have you. So, because I've never done that. So let's see. But other than that, not much going on. Well, there is, but on the other channel, but I'm not going to drag that stuff over here. Just when you thought you were out, they pull you back in. Fun stuff. I'm glad nothing bothers me now, though. just being of a free mind and just getting the enjoyment thing rolling and ramping it up. That's probably a good term. Ramping it up. Getting the last bit of any of the old way of thinking out. Sending it on its way. Creating new points of view to keep my head going in the right direction. And so far, so good. The last several days have been pretty cool. Pretty free of... when I was walking Pee-wee the other night, it like all came into focus for me. It was just a really cool moment, an odd moment. And it basically, I think I talked about on here, where I always just used to always just picture myself as a bubble. I lived in a bubble, and the only thing that mattered is the things I let into my bubble. Family, friends, what's around me, my surroundings that I allow in. Not like a closed off wall per se, just like these are the things that make the bubble bounce higher. I don't know. But, and I was able to kind of pull the internet into that, because I know a lot of people online, and me, when my head wasn't right, anything negative, can drag you down. Or, like a lot of kids who are born into the internet age, they have a lot of problems with mental health and depression and seeking approval and stuff online. And it's very easy to go into that trap. But once you pull yourself back and remember that, even if there's somebody here watching this I can consider a friend because you've been supportive, right? Unless this camera's on, you're not going to know what's going on with me. I could drop dead right here or pass out, and you can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like I was able to separate it. And there may be things and people who matter, but in the physical presence, unless they somehow, I don't know what's a good way of putting it. I guess I don't have it all figured out yet, but I think I got the groundwork figured out. Because there are people who have been supportive of me online. So I wouldn't necessarily think of them as outside of the bubble. So I guess I don't have it all figured out yet, but for the majority, for the overall haul, most of these people you're not going to meet in real life. In real life, like when you were a kid and you went through or heard stuff or people picked on you or whatever, you weren't going to see those people in 10, 20, 30 years. And that's the same with majority of the internet, probably 99.9% of the internet. So once you start looking at it like that and realize this world, this bubble world, this physical world is what matters, then you can control what comes in and what stays out in physical presence and technical, I guess. virtual. So, because at the end of the day, none of them, anybody who has anything negative to say about you, right? We're all going to be dead soon anyway. You know, they're not in your life. You know, they're just floaters, I guess you could say. So trying to deal with their own issues and their own problems and just deal with them in an unhealthy way. So, but it takes some learning to get to there. It'd be nice if I could like figure out and write a game plan of that and actually teach that somehow. Like make videos based on how to do that. That's an idea. That's at least an idea for a starter idea for a video, for a positive video. Because that's one of the main things I want about this channel is just to be motivational, inspiring, or what have you. But then also too, like I said, the way I am when I talk, I'm also listening to my own words. So, you know, do as you preach type of thing. So, all right, I got to go clean up my office so I can eat some dinner and call it a day and then go walk Pee-wee. So, thanks everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.